Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast. We are the voice of the professional fan, and we are in a new studio, as you can see.
I'm confused. I'm so confused.
I know, it's weird, right? All right, we are in a new studio, but that doesn't matter because it's awesome. This is temporary. This is new until we actually get to our new studio, but we're going to move forward with this. And right off the bat, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Stat Pat. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good, man. And, just trying to get used to the new digs.
Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of cool for something different.
Yeah.
And it's literally cooler in here. There's actually airflow.
Right.
Money Mike, how you feeling, my friend?
I'm a little confused, but I'm good, man. We're still going to do this show. We're going to knock it out.
I've been a little confused at all the green. Like for us, that's like anti-Lakers. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm in a Celtic.
yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. Oh, I get it. Right? Because Courtside Radio. Alex
yeah,
Himes, he's got his Celtic. He must have
Yeah,
designed
maybe.
this studio.
Maybe.
All right.
I'm glad I wore my purple and gold today. Then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today. And as you can see, it's a different view. So we're going to kind of look at each other and you get this beautiful side view of these husky dad bots that we have. But we're just going to go ahead and call it as we see it. It is what it is.
And we're on Instagram Live for the first time, just trying some new stuff.
On Instagram Live in our new studio.
Yeah, but only me and Stat Pat.
Only say, yeah, I'm on the back. I'm behind the phone.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's okay because
He's
you
here.
can see me over here.
He's here.
So we are also live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere that you can find the Profanity Nation podcast. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. This week, a lot of sports still going on. Chargers still doing good, but we will get to that talk in a second because, as always, we like to start our show with a segment from our guy, Marco Nunez. Let's go ahead and he is behind
Yeah,
you.
Marco
So
behind me.
you're going to go off the sound. Hey, Marco, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well. How's everybody doing?
Man, I'm
Doing good,
confused,
man.
man.
I don't know where you're at, man. Where you at? You're over there.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find your place today.
Exactly. If you look that way, it looks like you're looking
I'm
at
looking
him.
at you.
Exactly.
All right, got you.
Is that better? Worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you ain't got to move. It's us that got to move.
Exactly. So thank you for joining us, Marco. As always, Marco joins us to give us the injury wrap up, the 5-minute injury wrap up, where he's going to break down some injuries for us because, you got your fantasy sports, basketball seasons getting ready to start, and everyone wants to know. So, Money Mike, you're on.
Hey, so look, let me tell you what happened to me, Marco. I was talking to you right here, right? Tell you what happened. I got a request for a trade. Somebody was trying to get my Josh Allen off the bench because he had Russell Wilson. So let me ask you about that. So it looked like I saw the play. He hit his hand on the helmet. It looked like he broke it, but then I saw the next day it was a ruptured tendon.
Correct.
On the break, and I was like, wow, like how does that happen? How? I guess my question, a better question is, how common is it for when you break your finger that you got to, do something to the tendon at the same time?
Correct. So muscles are attached to the bone via tendon. So it's not like the muscle itself is attached to the bone. Muscle attached to the tendon then attaches to the bone, and that's how you kind of contract your finger type of thing. Now, in this case, someone had asked me this a very similar question. One, was this the same thing that Kobe sustained a couple of years ago, way back then during the championship year when he had kind of his finger kind of taped up type of thing? Now, in this case, this was a little bit different. So what happened to Russell Westbrook is that the tendon itself just ruptured and torn, so they have to go there and surgically repair it, sometimes split it, and hopefully kind of scars over. Kobe, on the other hand, had what's called an avulsion fracture, where the tendon did not tear. The tendon actually stayed intact, but what happened is that it tore off a little piece of the bone where the tendon was attached. The little piece of kind of bone came off, so he had what's called an avulsion fracture. Now, the piece of bone that Kobe had was so small that you don't really require surgery. In many avulsion fractures to the fingers, you rarely ever do surgery unless it's a pretty big chunk that you try to put back in there. Eventually, it scars over. You have what's called calcification, and then he's fine, just like Kobe was. He never had surgery for in this part. But in this case, with the tendon that he ruptured, you need it because otherwise you can't really kind of move your finger. Someone had asked me the same thing, and this was kind of similar. Also, remember what Rajon Rondo had surgery. I think it was that he sustained a finger injury on Christmas Day 2019, where he tore a ligament, and therefore he wasn't able to lift the kind of the finger kind of going up this way. So he had to have it surgically repaired.
Oh, yeah, and that's important if you're a quarterback.
You need that finger, exactly. And exactly. And that was the same thing like with Rondo, is that, one thing we were deciding, should we get surgery, should we be able to manage it? And being a point guard, he needs to be able to grab the ball and feel the ball and kind of be able to pass while he's dribbling. And I remember he went out there, we attempted it, we checked a different way. He tried to kind of move it, bounce it. He's like, yeah, Marcus, I just cannot grip the ball. I can't feel the ball, and it just didn't feel right to him. And like I said, as a point guard or as a quarterback, you need to be able to grip that ball and be able to throw it. In this case, Russell Wilson can't, so it's like that's why he didn't go back in the game.
Yeah.
And what's the healing time on something like that?
So as long as you're looking probably anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks, depending on which tendon's the one that ruptured it. They're going to surgically repair it. So it's actually a pretty good outcome. He'll be able to come back pretty soon.
Okay, cool. Let's hope they're still in the playoff hunt.
Did you trade for him, or was he in your roster?
No, yeah. You know what? I needed a tight end, so I gave away Josh Allen and got me a pretty good tight end. So yes, I was okay with that. But yeah, he definitely was looking for somebody because Russell,
Yeah, no. So
4 to 8 weeks in the fantasy football, you lost, and especially if it's a pay league. Everybody pays $100. To get in the league.
Yeah, that's too much for my blood.
Now, hey, Marco, I'm winging this. I actually don't know the details, but I do know that Trevor Ariza on the Lakers had a minor surgery, and I believe the ankle, was it? Is it the ankle, guys? Do you know?
Yeah, it was his ankle.
Yeah, it was his ankle. Now, the injury and surgery that he had, do you know anything about that? I don't know if you have any details, but what I'm more curious about is the healing time for a veteran player of that age versus maybe a younger player.
Yeah, so one, I'm sorry, guys, I don't know. I didn't realize he had an injury or had the surgery. I know I was kind of aware of Malik Monk that had a little bit of the groin injury that he kind of sustained. He's kind of recovered for it, but I was not aware of Trevor Ariza. For some reason, I haven't had a chance to read about it. Two, yeah, the younger you are, the more likely to kind of be able to recover a little bit quicker. It also depends on what kind of surgery he had. One, was it something to repair something, or was it something more just to have like a little bit of a cleanup type of thing? So it's something that you know what? Let me do my homework, and I apologize for that.
I think Money Mike's going to see. I know I caught you on that. I think Money Mike's going to see if he can get at least any details on it. But yeah, I was just curious because Ariza really is supposed to be a big part of this team, and it was even projected to be a starter. So having him out actually isn't a small deal, even though this team is incredibly deep. Any information on that, Money?
Yeah. So it says Trevor Ariza had an orthoscopic. Okay, help me out with this.
Orthoscopic.
Debris.
Okay, so arthroscopic debris meaning kind of trash. Scope, he just had a scope. So basically, he just had a cleanup in there. So it shouldn't be anything to kind of be worried about. So basically, they just went in there to probably clean up some scar tissue that most likely was bugging him, or he probably maybe had a little bit of a bone bruise that was kind of bugging him and giving him some aches and pains type of thing. So it was just a cleanup. It was a basic scope, so they didn't open them up. They just do like two incisions. One's with the camera, one's with the shaver type of thing, just to kind of clean everything up and kind of suck it up. So in this case, I would not be too concerned about that. I think it's just something they want to probably get done and get ahead of it before it became an issue. If we're gonna do the scope, you want to do it now, especially. I know we're not official in the season yet, so they have a little bit of time. They have about 2 weeks for him to do it. So as far as time recovery for something like this, I'm anticipating maybe 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay, so it's not that big of a deal.
It sounds like it's not a big of a deal.
And it should set them up pretty well to finish the season and
exactly. And I think that
a little less discomfort or whatever he might have been feeling there.
Exactly, because maybe this could have developed into something bigger, something more uncomfortable, some tendonitis. If it was rubbing against something, and then we would have more time lost, maybe potential another injury or anything of that sort. So it's one of these you want to do it now, do in the preseason, knock it out, get over with. That way, it could be healthy, and you don't have to worry about it during the season, which you want to do.
Okay, one more question, but sticking with ankle. I'm not sure if you saw Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
He twisted his ankle.
Yes.
But literally, it looked like by the time he got to the sideline, it was like the size of a baseball. And I'm like, man, like how did it swell up that fast? I know after maybe 30 minutes or so, it could swell up that, but I know I don't even think they haven't even given a diagnosis, but do you think something is torn because it swelled up that fast?
Yeah, so he definitely tore sprained a ligament. So there's definitely some kind of damage to a ligament in that area, type of thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned because I have him on my fantasy football team. So as soon as I saw, I was like, I gotta go find somebody else. No, so yeah, I saw pictures of it. It kind of ballooned up. The one thing that I'm a little concerned about now, it could be one or two things. Either one, they're just being precautionary type of thing because they put him in a boot and they put him in crutches. So they want to basically to do non-weight bearing. So I'm hoping that is just more for precautionary reasons. They're going to schedule him for MRI and then actually see what exactly is going on in the part. And they don't want to take their chances. Obviously, he's their franchise player. They don't want to mess anything up. Let's do this right. Worst case scenario is that he probably has a 3rd-degree sprain. If that is the case, or maybe that's what they're suspecting, and that's going to be a little bit longer time as far as recovery. So I'm hoping, because he's on my fantasy football team, and I'm being a little selfish here, so I'm hoping that it's just a precautionary, and that's my story. And I'm sticking to that one.
All right.
So when something swells up so quick like that, is that at all an indication of severity, or is that just? I mean,
no, not necessarily, because people are always very different. There's people that swell up like crazy. There's people that don't swell up. I mean, we had a player with the Lakers that he had a meniscectomy, a surgery, and you expect to have some swelling, and within 24 hours, that athlete had like no swelling whatsoever. We were like baffled, like, what the heck is going on? You should have some kind of swelling, and he responded, I don't swell. And I've had other athletes that they've had like a very mild ankle sprain, nothing big, very very tiny. And I remember he told me, hey, Marco, heads up, I swell a lot. So we had to be prepared for it. And he did. Okay. He was honest. I mean, his foot was fat, even though it was just a mild injury. So obviously the swelling indicates that there's some kind of injury in that manner. The question is what degree it's going to be. And I think that's what they're going to do the MRI, try to determine that tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I was because usually when they always put you in the booth, right?
Yep.
Or the booth. So they can check and see if they're and I think they said the X-rays were negative, right? So
which is a good sign, yes.
They determined that it wasn't a break.
Yep.
But like when you see it swell that, how large it gotten, it just feels like there's something like wrong.
Correct.
And hopefully it's like something minor. But it's like I hope it but if you see the video, and you probably already saw it because he's on your team.
Because it personally hurt.
Yeah, the ankle. I mean, literally, it looked like his bone almost touched the ground.
Yeah.
Like his foot was like 90 degrees, and his ankle bone, was like literally touching the turf. And that's how bad the sprain. I mean, like this twisted his ankle, and so I see something like that. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not like you. They have training for it, but my untrained eyes say like, that doesn't look good, especially when I see the swelling. So hopefully, it's like you said, it's like a little minor sprain. But I mean, it looks like he's going to be out. And he also has a history of injury.
Correct.
So
yeah. Thank you very much. You just depressed me. I was in my denial bubble here for a couple of minutes and hoping that was everything would be good. But you just
hey Marco, you know what this year. Hey Marco, you know what to do, man. Just call the Giants and tell them what to do to fix them up.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you're right. I mean, the odds, the way he fell, the way he landed on it. So basically, he had full weight bearing on the ankle because he jumped and he landed. So this is very similar to what like a basketball player does. Center when they jump and they land and they put their full weight on somebody's foot, and their foot not only turns inward like inversion, but also kind of does a little plantar fashion. That's one of the worst ones you kind of do because not only do you do the calcaneofibular ligament, but more likely you're also going to do what's called the ATF ligament, and you may also have stretch a little bit tendons. So I would not be surprised if they do diagnose him with a second and maybe second degree sprain, and he's going to probably be out a good 4 weeks. The way it looks, a minimum type of thing. So. See, bottom line, I got to hit the waiver wire Tuesday morning.
See, that's what sucks because it wasn't even on the play. Like he was just kind of walking, and at least he got you your last 10 yards.
I got you those last points.
I'm gonna blame the quarterback because he overthrew the ball and he had to jump for it, so that's his fault.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. Marco, thank you so much for joining us as always. Please let everybody know the best way to keep up to date with what you've got going on.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding injuries or pertaining to your fantasy football team or anything like that, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Marco A. Nunez17 or just follow me on Instagram. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel where I do sports betting safety tips of the week at Evolve Athletic Performance.
All right. Thank you so much, Marco.
Thank
you. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So Marco, as always, with the great information. Do you feel any better about your fantasy teams right now?
Hey, look, I'm feeling great, but I'm scared every week though.
You're scared every
Oh man, I'm
I
scared every
mean, you
week.
know how it goes. All it takes is one.
Oh, it takes one.
right. You're on a roll for 8 weeks, and then bam, it's done. you don't stand a chance.
Literally, I'm like 5-0, and I don't even want to name the players, but they're pretty good players that consistently give me pretty good amount of points, and I'm just hoping that they stay healthy all year.
You're praying.
I'm praying.
You're praying
Because,
they
I
stay
mean,
healthy.
yeah,
all
they're
day.
I'm
putting
getting
the names
like I
out
got
there.
like 31 points. I get like 25 points consistently
All right.
from this particular
All right,
player
guys,
that I'm not naming.
So let's get into the show here. As always, we talk NBA. We have been talking our NFL
Yeah.
because it's NFL season. But I have a story. From this last week. Mike, you already know it. Pat, you may know a little bit about it. But Mike and myself, we went ahead to the tailgate. We're always at the tailgates at SoFi. That is because we are recording a show, and we'll give you more information about that. But that is in the works. But we are there for the tailgate, and I happened to get a ticket offered. So I made my way. I was actually voted and told that I was the one, right, Mike, that had to go in.
Absolutely. He absolutely was the one. And
The reason why,
well, yeah, because here's the thing. We're at a Charger tailgate. I'm a Raider fan.
Charger Raiders game, Monday Night Football.
You know, I'm loving the fact that it's 75-25 Raiders. But if I would have gone in there, I would have been more working, and it would have been amongst all the Charger fans, and I wouldn't have been able to pay attention. And the Raiders lost, which I would have been really pissed off
Yeah,
because
been
they would have
salty.
been talking a whole lot of crap. But I mean, I don't know why every time something amazing happens, I cannot go and
It's-
Jeff can.
I end up happening. It's just,
Yeah.
it is kind of lucky. So we made it in there, and we have a friend there, and our friend is Boltman.
Right.
Boltman wears the actual lightning bolt mascot outfit. He wears it to the tailgate. This was his first opportunity to actually where he tried and to get it into a game, and he was successful. We were successful getting that into the game. But as soon as we get in there, first of all, I want to credit Boltman and his wife. I mean, they are so incredible. So many people stop to take pictures, and he will stop with every single person. And it's so warm in that mascot outfit. Seriously, you may look at him and go, that guy's crazy. You're right, but he does it for the fans, and that's exactly what our show's about. He's just,
Right.
He's a professional fan. He's incredible. But you will learn a lot more about him because, like I said, we're working on a show. But he's in there. We're walking around. Now, I was the one voted to go in there with him. So I'm in there. Okay. First of all, we were supposed to go to his seats, and we never made it. An hour and 45 minutes just walking around the main concourse because he's taking pictures with everybody, and that's what he does, and it's great. So everybody there loves him. But as soon as we get near, as soon as you brought him anywhere near the DJ stage and the platform where they have the cannon and stuff, oh, they saw him, bring him up on stage. So we had a blast. He got up there, got up on the big screen and everything.
Yeah.
Then we made it down, and this was my first time. So I'm giving kind of a tour and my experience here. My first time going into the Bellows or down below in SoFi, and we actually made it into the SoFi Social Club. And that's really neat. That's actually field level. So if you've been to SoFi, obviously tons of people have not, but if you've been to SoFi, that's field level. So you're right behind the Raiders, and they have free drink and food. And that was great experience. And everyone again loves Boltman. And then I made my way into the press conference, and everything worked out great, but it was a great experience. I got to see a lot of SoFi, and really the fans love Boltman. I got to tell you. So
Now here's the key. He was over on the Raiders sideline. I'm at home watching this. I'm seeing the pictures. I'm like, dude, that's where I want to be.
yeah,
And then-
I'm sending Mike the pictures of where I'm at because look, to be honest, we're a sports show. I'm a basketball fan. I'm not huge on football, so I know some top names, but I'm sitting there, I don't know, and they're all right there. So I'm
Right.
sending Mike the pictures of the names on the jerseys, going, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy?"
So I'm having mixed emotions. To be honest with you. Like I'm happy that he was able to get to where he got. I'm happy that he was there because he doesn't care who wins or loses.
Yep.
But I'm also like, damn, like, do you see what I mean? He literally sent me pictures of the back of people's jerseys.
Yeah.
Like they were the same height as him. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. We're right
Like,
there on the
he
field.
could have ran out. He could have probably ran out the field.
I could have done a streaking event
Yeah.
and got us a lot of
Right.
publicity. I'm
Yeah.
not that desperate,
No.
so that's a good sign. Everybody would have known our name, Monday
Right.
Night Football. Let me
Absolutely.
tell you. Yeah, so I did do that, but that was a fun time. So, you know, that was a better experience. I got to tell you than the other food options there down in the social club. That
Yeah.
was a little bit better.
Okay,
Yeah,
I heard the food is not really.
it's really not, but down below is a little better. They give food and drink; it's all included. So it was
It's a
really
social
nice
club.
at the SoFi Social Club. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's really neat though, really great, really great experience for spending a lot of time there. So I appreciate if you haven't
Yeah.
been to SoFi, you really got to go check it out.
Yeah, gotta go check it out.
All right, now with that
Well, you know what? While we're talking about it, we might as well talk about how Gruden.
that game,
How Gruden was talking about the visitor locker room. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about the other Gruden news.
No, we're not talking about that.
Okay,
We're
thank
talking
you.
about Gruden
Please
and
not.
in the visiting locker room, and how 'cause he has a new house as well, and
Yep.
apparently he likes his house versus the SoFi's.
yeah, he's whoever designed
Yeah.
this locker room.
Yeah, because he doesn't like how anything went. You know, it's not our fault that we're partially outside and inside, so it had to be delayed with
Which that was crazy, right? You know, Gruden said it himself. Have you ever heard of an technically indoor game being delayed by weather
Yeah,
and lightning? That was crazy. And
Yeah.
before we went in, it was warm.
yes,
And they weren't even calling for rain that day, if I
Nope.
recall. Yeah.
but you knew it was
But the Raiders
me being okay. So me being a Raider fan as well, if you can't tell with the hat. I was very confident going into that game. I thought we were going to win the game, and then the lightning and thunder happened. I mean,
Boltman showed up.
I'm like, is that like an omen? Like, that gotta be right. I mean, it literally was. No one knew that it was going to rain that day. I know I didn't.
Mm-mm.
I don't think anybody knew there were going to be a chance of showers
Or lightning storm like that. Large
and
lightning
large.
storm.
I mean, to the point that it turned off my
Got your power?
Yeah, my power got cut
Oh,
off.
wow.
And so my Wi-Fi went out, everything went out. So once that happened, and then how the game started, and it was like, and then we were delayed. It just felt like, okay, it's like, this is almost like a movie. Like it's almost like
It's playing out in the Chargers' favor. Raiders
come on,
don't stand a
man.
chance.
I mean, it's so poetic. And I'm like, okay, this is how it's going to end, huh? Okay, like I could take that. Like, it was like the powers that be had some hand in it because it wasn't the game. But I mean, but at the same time, I mean, the Chargers are a pretty good, they're a pretty good team.
Look, the Chargers
They're pretty good team, dude.
are a really good team.
I was going to ask you,
And-
okay, are the Chargers for real?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, they are.
Hell
But you know what
I'm
though?
gonna say that right now. Hell yeah.
But you know what I hate though, like, and Pat, you know about this. Remember, like Tony Dungy when he got Tampa Bay to where they were, then John Gruden came in there and they won the Super Bowl. I feel like that's the Anthony Lynn effect, right? Because
Okay.
Anthony Lynn came in, he cleaned everybody up. He put Herbert in there when he wasn't supposed to, made him rookie of the year, but they just kept losing all those games.
Mhm.
The close games.
All those close games.
Yeah.
And now we have I can't even think of his name now. Coaching. And then he literally
Timothy McVeigh.
No, not that. but literally this dude took everything.
That's a running joke. If you got
Yeah,
right.
That's the Rams coach.
Yeah, you gotta listen to us. And
Yeah.
get that joke. But literally, he took everything Anthony Lynn did, and now he's getting the fruits of labor.
You know
Steve
what?
Kerr.
See,
Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson.
And I get that, and I get how that some people can be, you have a little bit of animosity to that. At the same time, it's not the new coach's fault that they know how to coach better than the old coach, because literally that's what we're talking about, right? We're not talking about players, right? The common denominator is the coach. It's not the players, same players, right? So you're saying the guy took the same players, same situations, because now think about it, the Chargers are 4-1. 3 of those games they have come back in the fourth quarter to win. These are the same games they lost last year. So are we going back and saying that Lynn is the person and we should feel sorry for Lynn? Because these are the same games that he lost, and the Chargers will be 1-4 instead of 4-1.
Okay. This is a game. It's the biggest cliche. It's a game of inches. When you're talking about that, you can have all the talent in the world. Lynn was there, but just the tiny little tweaks new coaches making makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, think about it. We just talk about, you just said like we can go and bring it to basketball, and we were just talking about Kerr and
Yep.
Mark Jackson.
Yep.
Kerr had the benefit of being coached by Phil Jackson and Popovich. So along the way, he took some things from those two legendary Hall of Fame coaches. Whereas I don't know if I'm thinking like who was the best coach, Pat Riley. So I mean, he may be like, you know, Mark Jackson from the school of Pat Riley. So, but other than that, he's basically doing his own thing. So he just didn't have the new.
It goes further than that. Phil Jackson.
Well, okay.
When Phil Jackson took over the Bulls, they were the Bulls.
Yeah.
He took over, turned them into the championship team, but they were there. Did the same thing with the Lakers.
Right.
We were already with that team.
Del
Oh,
Harris.
yeah, but okay. We had Del Harris. Like,
But,
I mean, but they had Del,
I mean,
you know,
but
Phil
what you're
Jackson.
but you're still saying that you had and so in retrospect you're saying, well, it was Del Harris. Well, in retrospect you're gonna look back and go, oh well, it was Lynn. I mean, the record is what the record is, and those are the same situations. If they go off to win a championship, you've got a Kerr situation, you've got a Phil Jackson. It's the same thing.
but see, I think here's the difference for me, and you guys tell me.
And
like,
Phil Jackson did it in
I-
Chicago too.
yes.
But here's the difference for me. Like, I feel like the John Gruden thing with Tampa Bay, the Anthony Lynn thing here, and even the Warriors. The culture of those teams and the heartbeat of those teams were those coaches, were the previous coaches.
Mhm.
When Phil Jackson took over, he changed everything. You know, it was no,
Yeah, that's fair.
it was no evidence of Del
Past
Harris,
anything.
you know, Del Harris, you know, coaching.
Yeah.
That dude came in there. Look, we about to run a triangle. We're about to do some Zen. We're about to do this.
Sign you some books.
Right.
He,
Yeah.
he
it was-
redesigned the
he
whole
redesigned
team.
everything.
Yeah.
I think the culture and the heartbeat, like you know, like, man, like the Warriors was the mentality and everything. It was Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so I think that's what the difference is. Like, you know, Phil Jackson just completely like, you know, he took the wallpaper off and he painted.
That's also how he wore out his
So-
welcome in both Chicago and LA
so,
by
but
doing all that.
let's we're gonna stand with the Golden State Warriors, and we're gonna and I'm thinking because I remember Steph would be just playing a ton of ISO ball. It was ISO, and we didn't even know about Klay Thompson. We thought we knew Klay Thompson as a good jump shooter and a defender first. He was a defender. He was the guy that was a stopper on the team. All of a sudden, we start running this offense with free flowing, and now all of a sudden he getting 30 points in the quarter. That ain't got. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I hear what you're saying about the culture, but we did discover. Now Draymond got some. I mean, he's hard. It's hard to watch, but he's actually contributing rather than just being somebody to grab rebounds and playing hard nosed defense. Like
He's part of
actually
that culture.
Part of the. You give him at the top of the key, he actually can run. Like you can run some backdoor action off of him. Like, you know, same thing you got. You know, with Klay Thompson, he's now a big time. I mean, he's the Splash Brothers. He wasn't the Splash Brothers with Mark Jackson. So I hear what you're saying when it comes to that. I just think that sometimes we don't want to give the coach all the credit that the new coach, all the credit they deserve, because we feel that the old should get more credit. The old coach should get more credit. Like, we should be saying that it's Mark Jackson is the reason why, but at the same time, Mark Jackson didn't do it.
Unless that coach is taking over an already championship team, which doesn't happen.
It's like the Barry.
Then-
If we're talking about football, it's like kind of like when Jimmy Johnson left the Cowboys and Barry Switzer was the coach, and they already won 2 championships before
He was
Barry
just
Switzer, and
continuing.
he just continued.
Status quo.
They just run the same stuff.
Yeah.
And so now these other teams are like, they never won a championship, and they started to win a championship with the new coach. So, but I mean, there's valid points on both sides, I believe. I mean, and it kind of sucks because Anthony Lynn is the one that may discover Herbert, not discovered, but chose Herbert over Tua. Remember, they had
Right.
that. They had that.
Yeah.
They had that. You know, I think they had that choice, or was it the other way around, or was it Miami had the choice between Tua? I think that's what it was. I think Miami had the choice between Tua and Herbert, and they chose Tua, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
Sometimes analytics doesn't work.
that's the Kevin Durant or
Yeah.
Odin decision.
yes. You know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Have we anybody been checking out those preseason games? At least some of them.
We're not winning.
I mean, we're not winning them, right? Because that matters now.
Are you concerned?
Preseason games
No,
matter.
I'm not necessarily concerned, but I just
Are you concerned about
Question.
Russell Westbrook 6 turnovers in the first quarter?
well, no. I mean, it's Westbrook, but I definitely want him to kind of get into the rhythm, get into what the what they're kind of run, so that way the games that count, that we don't
Momentum, have some momentum built.
Yeah, I mean, I think look for real. I just kind of want to fast forward past these 82 games and go to the playoffs.
Yeah,
Honestly,
healthy. We got to be healthy.
That's just really just how I
that's the
feel.
number one.
But we have to build this camaraderie and this
Mm-hmm.
chemistry, and otherwise they don't know where to go. So my question is, yes, preseason's here, but on Tuesday coming up here, next Tuesday, yes,
I think next Tuesday.
19th, yeah.
next Tuesday on the 19th is opening game, and we are playing the Nets. We may have discussed this before, but now that we're here at this point, how much money, Mike, are you going to read from a win or a loss in that game one?
Well, you know what?
Will this? I mean, is it possible to
He's
have
the
this
first-
guy
we playing the Nets
falling?
first, or we
again?
playing the Warriors?
No, we played
Nets.
the Warriors first.
Are-
We played the Nets in
Christmas.
the preseason.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Nets
Warriors
Christmas.
open. My bad.
Warriors. The Warriors going to be good. It's going to be a good
You're right.
test. It's going to be a good test for them. And we're going to be able to see mainly the defense. I think that's going to be the key to them, because you got Curry there, over there, and he was like on fire last year, the whole season. Clay's not back yet, but you still have some other good players over there.
But you don't expect anything until they get full strength, right? Stan?
No, I don't. However, I think.
Well, Wiggins is playing.
Well, I think
He took a
right
shot.
now, especially if we're looking at both teams, right? We're looking at the Lakers and we're looking at the Warriors. It's kind of like what we were talking about when we were earlier off the show about the Chicago Bulls. It feels to me that the Lakers are really worrying about trying to get healthy, building, like you said, Jeff.
Chemistry.
Chemistry, and try to get pretty much that camaraderie, that chemistry, and health. And we'll go ahead and play them at the end, in the playoffs. Everyone else, though, if they're not the Lakers, pretty much are trying to reestablish themselves. And I think that's what the Warriors are trying to do now. They're going to try to come out. They're going to come hard. They want to let everybody, we haven't gone anywhere. It's going to show you who do we have here in front of us to prove our point. We got the Lakers and their championship, leading contending team. And so they're going to come hard. And so, yes, if we lose that game, I hope it's not panic mode, because obviously this is like almost a brand new team, right? I mean, you almost got like 8 new, think 8, 9 new players on the team. So I just think that, once we get let's judge us, in December, right? Let's get to Christmas. Let's see where we're at with Christmas, and then I can give a better picture, because, in a week and a half, we're not gonna really know.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, I definitely think that we have to figure out what our rotation is going to be. I think that's.
Money's going to say the sky's falling if we lose against the Golden State
No,
Warriors
I'm
on
not.
opening night.
I'm not.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not.
You are going to come in and be like,
Listen,
what are they?
Who's-
Vogel has
No,
no
no,
offense.
Who's the scapegoat? Who
Hold
you think is gonna be the
Okay.
scapegoat?
Okay. So okay.
There's no offense. I don't have no idea what they're doing out there.
Okay. So let's do it like this. Let's do it like this, because I will criticize.
Exactly. Don't.
So this is what I need to see. I need to see about 60 to 70% of the ball handling with Westbrook there. That's the thing I'm gonna need to see. If he's in the game, I think Westbrook needs to handle the ball the most. I need to see AD, not get hurt. That's the first thing.
Of course.
Yes.
I also need AD to, play some center majority, probably about at least 50% center. I need LeBron to play off ball, and pick his moments of when he wants to, handle the ball and lead. I think the key to the Lakers being successful this year is Westbrook playing to his strengths.
Exactly.
So listen, if all those things happen and we lose, it has to be a close game. But I'm cool. If I see Westbrook out there trying to shoot 3-pointers, not handling the ball, not getting assists, not playing to his strengths because LeBron is in there trying to play to his strengths. Where if he's the GOAT, he could do everything, then yes, I am coming in and I'm blasting Lakers because here's the thing. We know LeBron could be effective in any way that he plays. But I know also that Westbrook cannot be effective if he doesn't play a certain way.
Right.
So we have to. The team in the offense has to be built somewhat around Westbrook's ability to get him involved in the game. Otherwise he's a liability.
Yes, he's definitely. I mean, and going a little further, what you were saying, Money. When it comes to that lineup and giving the ball to Westbrook and letting him handle it, I want to see that in the fourth quarter because I know they'll probably do that in the first quarter. They'll go ahead and do that in the first quarter. Probably third quarter, they probably do that. But then when it gets to be money time, is he going to relinquish the ball? Is he going to trust somebody else to go ahead and not make those turnovers that he's, that we're guarding in the fourth quarter, But at the same time, we've seen it because we played against Westbrook when he was with in Houston, and we basically doubled off of him and proved that he had to beat us from the outside because we were not giving him anything in the middle,
and he didn't,
and he couldn't. So knowing that, and then seeing him play with Beal and him having the rock and still being effective, you got to let him play to his strengths, and I think we will do that. I think you don't. I mean, supposedly they had all these choices who they could have picked for the trade, which I don't know if I believe these stories are coming out. They pretty much had like this big time list, like Lillard was on the list and all these people were on the list. And I'm like, there's no way we're going to be able to get those guys.
No.
So Westbrook had to force the hand to basically ask for the trade. Other than that, no one's traded anybody, right? So I just think that once Westbrook get on the court with him, I mean, he's playing now. I still like his energy, and I think that's going to be infectious. That's going to rub off on the team. But yeah,
his hunger.
It's just
he's hungry, but he hasn't won.
And
let me just say this: last 2 minutes of the game, I'm trusting Westbrook over LeBron.
You are doing what?
I'm trusting Westbrook over LeBron. Last 2 minutes of the game. Hello.
Okay, dude.
I'm trusting Westbrook.
Okay, man. Okay.
I mean, last 2 minutes of the game. I want Westbrook.
What is he doing? What is he going to do?
what are we doing? So we in the new studio now?
Yeah, we got a new studio. We got new sounds. What is he going to do that LeBron couldn't do in the fourth quarter? That's what that's the question I want to go ahead and throw back to you because I need to know those so I can say, okay.
I'm still surprised when LeBron like that. What was that 3-point shot they made when that play-in game into the playoffs? Mm-hmm. When I was surprised LeBron made that shot. I was still at that point. I know the guy's 19 years and he's gonna break every record. But still. When the game was about to end and LeBron I'm still scared. I prefer Westbrook having the ball, making the play. Okay. You know what?
Oh man, dude, get him off the board.
We gotta get out the studio. This studio is,
I was just waiting for that one. I mean, I've been waiting years to play that one.
I mean, okay. So wait a minute. So I guess that Pat, you disagree with me
about what?
About wanting Westbrook.
I don't know. I think
who do you want to be involved?
I don't think it's one or the other. I don't think it's as what you think is one is clear than the other. I think Westbrook is prone to a turnover in those situations. If LeBron is not turning the ball over, that's already a plus versus the person that will turn the ball because I don't even get the opportunity to miss the 3-point shot at the end. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's going to. I have to worry about me. Possession is key. You get the ball first, you keep the ball, and then everything else happens after possession. If you ain't getting the ball, you ain't keeping the ball, you turning the ball over, it's going to be hard for me to even try to even get a flow into the offense. And I damn sure need him in the last 2 minutes of the game to be able to get shots up. So I'm willing to let both of them try their hand, but I'm not going to say one is clear.
I mean, listen. What's popping up in my head is when he slid in the third base. That's just popping up in my head. What's also popping in my head was when Patrick Beverly, who's like half his height, block this shot. Like, I mean, I'm just documenting true events.
Are
right?
you going to talk about when he actually threw the ball to a wide open Danny Green and he missed it?
Okay.
Because that's a play. That's a good play,
Okay,
right?
That's a good
And a play that Danny Green should have made that hopefully
But then-
Ellington
but- okay.
or Malik Monk is going to
And
knock that down.
and you know that if LeBron lays down in the last 2 minutes and lets Westbrook go to town, where's LeBron?
Nope.
He wasn't the GOAT.
Yeah.
Where was he? Oh, he wasn't even having the ball. If he's the
being
GOAT,
carried. He's
if
being carried to another championship.
why isn't he? He should be the GOAT. He has the ball. He has this.
I would never say LeBron's the GOAT.
All right,
I know,
everybody.
that's fine.
All right, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Somebody's got to pay some invoices over here. Thank you for joining the Profanity Nation podcast. We are still here. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. The Profanity Nation is now the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Be sure to join. Over 5,000 strong and growing. Also, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Again, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt.
The Good News Radio and Podcast Network is where you can access and find some of the best shows and personalities in the business live and on demand right at your fingertips. It's simple. Just download the Good News Radio app and enjoy all of your favorite shows on the network.
Absolutely, TGN. That's our family. Thank you, Stat Pat. Also, if you happen to be in the Chatsworth, California area and you're looking to just hang out or grab something so that you can chill, you got to stop by the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center. Mike's like, nah, mate. That's all right. To each their own choice. It is now legal. So the people who do choose to utilize, they can. And the best place to go is Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center in the Valley in Chatsworth, California. They really do have everything that you need, everything that you want, and they're going to take care of you. Be sure to go there. Tell them that you heard about them on the Profanity Nation podcast, and they're going to treat you right. All right, guys. So we're talking about...
There's a lot of green in this room.
There's a lot of green in this room, and we're talking about Pure Life, which is green,
That's how-
green
yeah.
with envy, all
Keep it
good.
healthy. Keep
All
it
good.
pure. Stay pure.
Stay pure. Stay innocent. Stay clean. Okay, guys. So we're talking about the Lakers here. We're talking about Westbrook. You're talking about the expectations that Westbrook should have the rock at the end of the game in the last 2 minutes. I kind of agree with Stat that it probably should get passed around, and there should be no one person who's getting that ball at the end of the 2 minutes. And I think that's the secret to their success. This team is deep. This team has that depth that they can go to. They have plenty of players, and I think the best weapon on this team will be the unknown player X that shows up that night that the other team can't scheme and plan for.
Yeah. So not this game. I think the game before we played the Suns. I saw
this game too.
This game, but it wasn't. It was the other one that when Crowder tried to like trip AD. And that, and we're not talking about that. But I did. Speaking of Crowder, you know how Crowder used to be the one that they always used to put on LeBron. And I noticed how like sometimes if LeBron get ahead, full head of steam, if you can attack him when he's off the dribble, then Crowder pretty much is like non-existent. Like he really can't do anything with LeBron. All he can do is just foul and hack or whatever.
Just get in the way.
Yeah, just get in the way. But then like when he gets the ball, he stops his dribble. Then Crowder can get into him a little bit, can kind of like push him a little bit, and then let him try to prove that he has some kind of post game. But LeBron has he's working on his fall away, so he has that. However, I did see something with Carmelo, and I was very happy about when the Crowder tried to check Carmelo on the blocks. It was Crowder with barbecue chicken. Like it was nothing he can do to him because he has a game, a lot of moves on the block that. It doesn't matter if you try to muscle him, then he's going to use your aggression against you to go ahead and get shots off. I mean, Melo is a shot maker, shot creator, so he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, he can get free.
And if you see that, I'm thinking the Lakers see something and they think they can hunt Crowder. And if they're hunting Crowder with Melo, that means their best defender is on our fourth, probably fifth best player. That's not really good for them. I mean, so they're going to have to deal with that, and that's just little little tiny chess moves, like little ideas.
Let's
that-
just see what's going on.
Yeah, you don't even have to play that. You just see it in preseason. I got okay that you're going to be the same person you are right now. We'll see you in the playoffs, and then when we need to go to that move, we got that move right there. So I'm looking at it objectively because these games we just you showing me the
Look, I'm not
Money
showing anything.
the box score.
Showing me the box score.
I'm not showing
And it's
anything.
111
I'm just
to
documenting.
88 now.
Like,
I'm just documenting
and
He
I'm
just
not
casually left his phone open right
My
there.
God.
For you to see.
I mean,
It's all right.
I mean, listen.
I will be there with you if those are regular season games.
mean,
I'm with
like,
you.
Are we even trying to win? Like, I mean, we're like
I don't know.
0-3.
I don't
No,
know.
no, we
Like,
aren't.
oh,
I don't
No,
know.
no.
See what I'm
We're
saying?
about to be 0-4.
No.
Yes, dude.
No,
Remember
we're
the
not.
bubble?
Yeah.
Remember the bubble?
Yeah,
Remember,
I remember.
and we supposedly limped in, and we had people saying that we were not going to get out the first round. Like that's how bad
Yeah.
people really thought that the Lakers looked in that time. And yeah, guess what? Like a lot of us, even me in this room,
You doubt
I
it.
was like, ugh, I'm not really too happy about this
I-
right now. And then what happened?
Look,
They lost
I
game
feel
one,
it.
and a switch flipped, and it
feel it.
didn't go off. It didn't go off.
They left it on.
We left it on. So I'm just saying, stay healthy, work on what you can work on.
Yeah, that's what I am happy about. AD played 28 minutes. He has 19 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. He could have a little bit more rebounds.
No. See. No.
Where's the game at right now?
It's here.
No, it's time.
Oh, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I'm. That's one thing about AD that I just. It's hard. It's hard for me to stomach. It's hard for him not to average at least 10 rebounds
Right.
in a game, and this is for his career. He doesn't. I don't think he averaged 10 rebounds a game for his career.
He doesn't consider himself a big.
I mean, he's not a point guard. That dream is
He
gone.
grew out of it.
Yeah, you grew out of it, man. You
Yeah,
gotta play
but-
big now, and
yeah.
and
You can take the boy out of the point guard.
Yeah.
You can't take the point guard out of the
apparently
boy.
not. But I mean, he needs to get more boards because if he's only getting 3, I need to see who else is getting boards in there.
We see Jordan got 5 rebounds.
Anybody
no
who's got
double
8?
digits.
Nobody
No,
got 8
nobody
or
double
9. Anybody got like
Hey,
that?
and look.
See?
I want to let y'all
Yeah.
know, all you guys that call Kobe a hot dog, can you look and tell me how many assists Carmelo Anthony has?
I hope 0, man. I hope 0. That a boy. That a boy.
That's not what he's there for. though.
0. Okay, how many points you got?
17 points.
That's what I'm talking about.
17 points.
Exactly.
And look,
And if you
he
think
had
we
seven-
got, and if you
Carmelo
think-
has 17 points in 16 minutes.
and if you think we got him
That's
for,
efficient.
and if you think we got him for anything other than that,
Mm.
then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's just out there to
if we
stand and
really
shoot.
trying to now all of a sudden try to teach this old dog new
No,
tricks
no.
and say you need to be an assist man.
I just don't want nobody. I just don't want nobody talking about how Kobe was a hot dog.
we
Yeah.
know now.
Right.
We know now.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like you said.
Hey, look
you,
it up.
You gave with the stats, and,
Hey, look it up.
and he's literally the same amount of time in the
Hey,
league
look
and
it
got
up.
half the assists
Half. Half.
And no titles.
Look it up.
and no title.
Look it up.
No rings. No
Anybody that call
nothing.
Kobe a hot dog, look it up.
Look at the numbers don't lie, right?
Numbers don't lie.
All right. So really quick, let's chat about our 2. I know we talked about.
Dwight Howard only has 3 rebounds.
Let's chat
What's he
about
doing?
That's what
what's
I'm saying.
yeah, right. Oh, who knows how many minutes though?
Yeah, see.
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree. See, they should be in double digit rebounds. Or bigs.
Somebody should be.
Someone, Jordan, Howard, somebody should be, but they're not. So that's okay. Okay, guys, I want to talk about the Rams a little bit. We've kind of jumped from football to basketball and so forth, but we have 2 teams that are playing quite well. Wouldn't you say they're stat?
Yeah, and and so I guess the city. You know what's funny? You know what's going to be funny about that? Now that we can acknowledge now that the Chargers are pretty good, and so it's going to be really interesting because LA is a bandwagon city, and we gonna just peep the gear. Just peep the gear, because then
It's true.
when you start winning, you don't just remember the first of the
I don't know.
peep the gear.
All you got to do is
I don't-
walk
Do
into
you
a
see- hold on.
Walmart.
Do you
and you'll
see
know.
Clipper gear? Do you see Clipper gear now?
No.
Do you see Clipper gear?
There is Clipper gear.
But how much do you see it?
I mean,
You don't
No.
see it like you saw it last year at the beginning of the season.
Mm-mm.
That's my point. Because if you're a Laker fan, and you
It's
don't
there
care,
all the
and
time.
you rocking this all day, every day.
so here's the thing.
So that's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing about LA. it is 100% clear that this is a Dodger and Laker city, right? Like, when the Angels won the World Series, you saw that one year they were Angel fans, right? But football to me is so different.
It's open
because, no, it's not that it's open. Football wasn't here so long that people pick their team.
Yes.
And I don't see any old school people, because I'm old school Raider fan, right? And I've always been a Raider fan. And then you have old school Rams fans. And so then you have those that were Rams fans. But I think it's going to take years of being really good, being 10-5, 12-3 seasons for real Charger fans, real Rams fans to penetrate in here. Simply because, listen, it was 75. It was that Charger. Listen, if you saw 50 people going into, and I'm not kidding you guys, if you saw a crowd of 50 people going into, it was about 10 Charger fans. Out of those, 40 of those fans were Raider fans. Literally, right? I guarantee when Pittsburgh sucks right now, they're like, what?
But they're still going to over.
I guarantee it's going to be the same thing with those Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah.
It's going to, dude, did you see all Cleveland? It was Cleveland Brown fans in there, right?
Yes.
So, and listen, and the Chargers are good.
See, they're good now, though.
And they're exciting. I don't know how long the Chargers are going to be able to get
I have a question for you guys. We live in LA, where our show's based in LA, and there's definitely just an assumed feeling that the Rams are the big brother and the Chargers are the little brother.
That's true.
It just feels that way.
Yes.
We feel like the Rams are more the Lakers and the Chargers are more the Clippers.
Absolutely.
If the Chargers win that Super Bowl in this building first, will that change anything?
No.
It's not going to do anything. And I'm going to tell you why. So we can look no further than Chicago. So back in the day, you'd have the Chicago Cubs had the coast of, I think, they had the coast of the curse of the goat, right? Supposedly the story is you couldn't let the goat in, and based upon that, the curse of the goat was happening, and the Cubs did not win a World Series for almost 100 years, right?
Yep.
In that time that they're waiting for the championship that they got within, I think, the last 10 years, the White Sox got the championship. The White Sox got a championship before the Cubs. The White Sox. We don't even hear the White Sox. I'm going to say it again. The White Sox won, and that did nothing for that city. That city was basically a Cub city through and through. You only are a Cub fan if you live on the south side of Chicago. That's why like a lot of black people like, the because it's in the south side, it's in the hood, it's in the south side of Chicago. So, but overall, the franchise, yes, that's not going to change. However, when it comes to the Rams and the Chargers, I do believe that once they keep winning, because now there's things that are different. You have a quarterback in the second year that everyone's looking at like, okay, we thought Mahomes was going to run away with this. But now we actually got another up and coming guy that has as much talent as Mahomes now. So we're not looking at Herbert Herbert is going to go toe to toe with Mahomes now. And that's going to be something in that division that's going to be going on for years. So if you have that, you got the defense, you got a nice little young coach coming up. It's going to be, it might take a few years, but I'm telling you, let these guys get 8-1, 9-2, 10-2, and watch some jerseys coming out. I'm telling you, this is LA, dude. We're bandwagon. They bandwagon.
What's it going to take to actually stake the flag as LA is our town?
They got to win the Super Bowl.
More than one.
But I mean,
they have to establish continued excellence.
First of all, the Rams. Wait, hold on. Let's just be honest. The Rams got to win the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I mean.
That's the one thing the Raider fans hold over the Rams.
But it is easier for the Rams because the Rams were here before.
Yeah.
So mom and dad, the 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, they were Rams fans. They remember
point of reference. Sure.
Rams. The Chargers. Look, Raider fans used to evade Qualcomm Stadium. So You know, Pittsburgh, you see invade Vargas. You know, when it was up there at Dignity Health, we invaded that. So the and those San Diego Charger fans, they don't come up here.
Some of them do,
But
They're- not as a bulk or not as a mass.
Like
I would agree, but they didn't even go to the game in their own town when it was there
Right,
as a
that's what I'm
mass.
saying. So
They're not driving to LA to do it.
So foundationally, the
They
Chargers.
might be. They might start coming, dude.
I mean, listen,
I'm telling you,
look.
they're gonna. I mean, the Chargers actually have like a good foundation. Like, and I'm thinking,
yeah,
man,
man. But I mean, listen.
I'm a Raider fan. It
Look.
hurt me to say it, but I
Hey.
think they are way further along than the mess we got going on in Vegas.
Well, look, I would agree with that. I think definitely, you know, overall, the Chargers are a better team, but their fan base. I mean, listen, we are tailgating with the Charger fans and
Every week.
and those Charger fans are passionate. They're not. It's not just Boatman. You have a whole lot of people dressing up. You know, they
Love their team.
They love their team. It's just not enough of them.
Yeah, I know.
It's just not enough of them.
Winning, we gotta win.
I mean, when you agree, like, it's like one row, and it's live. But it's only that one row.
Mhm.
Thunder Alley.
You know, right? There's only that one row. Everywhere else, you got, you know, the Cowboy fans come, Pittsburgh fans come. The Red, it's all the other team. It's all the other team. But no, I love the Charger fans. They're amazing. They're fun. It's just they need more.
of them.
They need to probably triple.
Oh yeah.
Their fan
Now,
base. And I don't know how they're going.
I'm going to go back to Stat last question and then out of bounds. Okay. All right. Stat, when you're talking about my point of reference, because my favorite sport, my love is basketball. So my point of reference is the Lakers. When I think of the Lakers, you think of great players, think of great teams, but really what makes the Lakers is great ownership. Now, when you compare the ownership between the Rams and the Chargers, that's where you're talking about now. Who do you trust over the next decade? Obviously, the Rams have the money, they own the building, but is that who you trust to keep and sustain a championship team? Which organization do you feel has the best chance to do that over the next 10 years?
I mean, it's the Rams. I mean, because they, like you said, they have the capital. They have the money behind them, but they also have McVay, and he's young enough that, I mean, they can let him just go out there and just do like Pittsburgh is doing with Mike Tomlin. You know, Mike Tomlin has been the coach there for almost like, I think, like 15 years. Like, I know over a decade he's been the head coach of Pittsburgh, and I'm thinking that they can do the same thing with the Rams with McVay. And then, I mean, you also have the franchise players like, you know, Aaron Donald, and then you also have a LA connection with, you know, it shouldn't be understated, but Robert Woods being from LA, being an LA native, also playing for SC, you know, people know him.
Deshaun.
So, you know, Deshaun Jackson now on the team from Long Beach. So you have that connection to the LA, and they're on the Rams. It just makes it seems like they're trying to connect with the community
A little bit more.
Even if that's just by coincidence. But those are still the facts. Now you have the Spanos. We always heard about the horror stories about
Exactly.
and they're here and they're lucked up. Pretty much they're lucked up into this situation where they didn't think they were going to be this good this quickly right now. They didn't think they were going to be able to go into SoFi and have a product that they can
compete.
literally compete and sell tickets. Like they really can. They feel like, I mean, that game, I mean, even though it was Browns fans, but that was an awesome game today against against the Chargers, and the Browns and the Chargers was a really good game. And it was two young quarterbacks going head to head. And
a lot of offense.
And not a lot of defense.
I mean, I think they scored like 50 points in the second half.
It was wild.
What was that score? 47, 42.
Yeah, it was wild. But just going back to your point, Simster, is I think if we had to say which one is, you know, be able to sustain and, you know, can keep market share, it's gonna be the Rams.
Money. And then we're going to out of bounds. For me as a Laker fan, one of the scariest times in Laker life was when it was Jim Buss versus Jeannie Buss. It actually felt like there was actually a chance that maybe ownership could get disrupted with this family here. That's when I started to go, what's going on with the team, right? It's ownership.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, you have to love the ownership, love what they did for the city. And that was kind of like a trying time. But you know what? I always had faith in my girl Jeannie, though.
Yeah, she'd always come out on top.
Like, because you knew. I always felt like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but even when Mr. Buss was alive, and you knew that he always wanted his sons to kind of take over the Rams, the reign.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Nah, my daughter's the one.
She's the one.
She gets it." Because I mean, didn't Jimmy have like the soccer team that went defunct?
Yeah,
everything he touched, it just
fell apart.
It folded,
Yeah.
right? And
he had opportunities,
right? Yeah, so he tried his best to give it to his son, but he was wise enough to know that, hey, in order for the ship to be how it's going to be and be how I envision it, I need to have Jeannie control this. And that's how he wrote his trust. That he literally said, okay, I need this to be right. And so I wasn't worried about it per se. I just didn't I was actually more upset with Jim and for trying to get his brothers to overthrow.
Yeah, it was
what I mean?
ridiculous.
Like, I was mad about that. I was like, come on, y'all. Like, I know what the trust say, and I haven't even read it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
talk about great ownership.
Yeah.
He even made sure the team was okay beyond.
Yeah.
Right.
Beyond. All right, guys. So great episode here. But if you listen to the show and if you're watching the show online, online, then you know that we always finish the show with a great segment that we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. This is pretty simple. Money Mike's going to share his opinion on a topic or a subject, and he just wants to know if his opinion is in bounds or out of bounds. We'd love to see you guys comment online. So go ahead and comment in the chat box there. Money Mike, you're on.
You know what? This is a repeat. But
It happened again?
It happened again.
Oh, no.
Listen,
Okay.
I'm sitting around watching these damn Dodgers. And I'm watching this wild card game, which, let me back up.
Oh,
First of all,
man, here you go.
I don't understand why why does baseball have a one-game playoff, first of all? That's like the
Wild
That
card.
scared me too.
But anyway, so I'm watching this. We go all
That
the way
was a
to
great game.
great game, all the way to the ninth inning. It could go either way. Like, we could either be
One swing.
we could be eliminated, or we could go and go for a World Series. So it's just one game. And Chris Taylor, ninth inning, I was coaching him too. Say, hey man, just keep it calm. Don't try to get all in one time. Pujols didn't listen to me. He tried
Yeah,
all
he
in one
tried
time,
to,
But
that's what he does.
Yeah,
Who's
that's why he's
going
out
against
there.
his old team too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
him to.
Yeah.
Like,
But
do
Chris
that.
Taylor did,
That walk off would have been sweet.
Yeah.
But Chris Taylor got the walk off, and they were celebrating. And
Oh, no.
and man, and now I'm the game is, the post game was on, and they pop it. I mean, they have goggles. They popping champagne and have goggles on, and literally I'm trying to figure out what the hell are they celebrating. They're celebrating that they about to go into a playing team that had a better record than them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we celebrating that? Why are we celebrating that, dog? Like, what did we accomplish? We made the playoffs. Literally.
You're supposed to.
We made
The Dodgers are supposed to make the
we won
playoffs.
106 games, which is very impressive. But guess what?
Still
Somebody
had the
else
wild card. Won
somebody
107.
else won 107.
Exactly.
What the hell are y'all celebrating? What then you go and get shut out in the first game. After you guys got goggles on.
Yeah.
Am I out of bounds for saying that I don't care if I know it's baseball, but I don't care if it's baseball, if it's soccer, if it's basketball, if it's badminton. I think you only should celebrate the win after the final win. Am I out of bounds for saying that?
Well, I don't know if you're out of bounds, but I have to choose, right? As I talk it out, maybe I come.
And when you're watching online, I see you guys watching online. Go ahead and comment. Is Money Mike inbounds or out of bounds?
Look, since baseball is the only
Mm-mm.
team, I think only
Sport.
sport that does that. I don't know if you're in bounds. I think it may be out of bounds, only because that's a baseball thing and in a baseball pastime. And baseball have weird rules, and that's how the game is played. I'm not really a baseball fan that much, but every time I see them celebrating a division championship or it moves in the next round of the playoffs, look, they ain't stopped nobody from winning the think about the championship. Think about it. You know, whoever the champion, they celebrated every round too. Whoever the champion though did exactly what you said they should do.
But that's ridiculous.
And that didn't jinx them because they won the championship. But they celebrated every round.
It's a waste
just
of
like that.
okay. So you don't think that's a waste of champagne?
I agree.
That's a waste of
I
goggles.
I think there should
Like, what are
be
we
there's
doing?
layers to this, and I think like that should be like if you make it through the wild card, you get cupcakes. Then if you make it through your first round, you get like chips or something. But you know it increases, but really the champagne and the goggles should be reserved for championship status. What it does is it weakens it. It really does. It dilutes the excitement and the fun of the championship because you're like, oh, well, we already saw this 4 times on the way this season to the champ. They already wore goggles 4 times.
What are we doing?
I love it.
Why? I mean, why are we covering it? Like you know, what are we done? Listen. Look.
Okay, so you guys are basketball fans first and foremost, right?
Yeah, we're basketball fans. Look, and
So
listen,
that's
they-
I'm
they
just
hitting me up, they
saying
hitting-
to me, you're looking at it from a basketball perspective.
No, I'm looking at it from a sports
No,
perspective.
but you're used to
My point of
championship.
reference.
Your point of reference and championship experience is from basketball. It's not from another sport. You don't care about the other sports. You care about basketball. And you've seen Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson with the stoic face, and we don't want to touch the trophy and all that stuff.
Right.
And I get that. What I'm saying is, if you got a baseball fan, baseball fans love that see that jump. They love to see their team go move on to the next one. And so that's me. Like baseball is just a weird thing anyway.
Man, but
so,
listen.
Is there
So, I don't-
one other sport that celebrates
No.
every?
no.
Listen,
baseball.
Look. I'm hitting up over here. They're telling me it's tradition. Listen, what does that mean? What does
You know
tradition mean?
exactly what it means.
No, this is what I mean, though.
You know what I'm saying? You know what it means because you're looking at it from the perspective of Kobe Bryant saying, "I don't want to touch that trophy." If you
We ain't done nothing yet.
So we ain't touching. We go into the locker room.
Okay, why am I not allowed to change the tradition? Why am I not? Why?
Well,
Oh,
number one,
you know better
because
than that. You know better than that.
No,
yeah,
but
you don't mess with tradition,
don't
and definitely not with baseball.
That's a whole nother conversation. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with a Stanley Cup. You think somebody's supposed? They will
But
punch
they
you in
won.
they will punch you in the face if you never have won the Stanley Cup and you touched it. They will punch you in the face, man.
You're
They are
allowed
not
to touch
playing
it.
any game. You can't. You ain't never
Okay,
played it.
okay, but look.
You ain't never gonna be able to touch it.
Okay, but look,
unless you win.
Okay, cool. Let's
And
talk about.
then you can bathe the kids in it and we'll do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, let's talk about Stanley Cup. So here's the thing. So if I'm a hockey player, right? You know what I mean? You know, okay. Some people don't think COVID is real. I do. Okay, cool. If you drinking from that Stanley Cup, I ain't doing it, right? Because I don't know where you've been. You know, but it's tradition.
Right.
It's tradition. You're supposed
Right.
to drink from it. And, you know, I ain't doing it
I'm
this
not
year.
doing it.
I'm sorry, though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a picture of it. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
I'm gonna
but
sanitize that.
I'm not, you know, I'm not passing. I'm not, you know, I'm not giving. You know what I'm saying? It's tradition, but I'm not doing that.
He's all
right?
puff wipe.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah,
puff
I'm
puff
not doing
spray.
it.
White pass.
You know what I mean?
White pass.
You know what I'm saying? like, you know, and you look at me like, nah, dog. You know what I mean? I don't know where you been.
Right.
Exactly.
But we're
You know what
talking
I'm
about
saying?
health
No, but what I'm saying,
versus
no,
a
but we're talking about
tradition
tradition.
that is like
Somebody go get offended though. Somebody go get offended on my team. You know that I'm not drinking after them. You know what I'm saying? I'm breaking tradition, and it's okay. I feel.
okay. I mean, I think
I'm
the
just-
tradition
I'm
you're
just
talking
saying.
about is like if we're talking about
I'm just saying,
putting
listen.
people's health in risk.
But okay,
Well,
yeah.
I personally, I
Change
think
that.
it depends. If you're like way down, like you're that bench warmer dude, you better not break that tradition. You're riding the bench, you better drink.
Yeah.
If you're a superstar, you can do whatever the hell you want,
Yeah,
and you can set
right.
precedent. So it
Yeah.
depends who you are and where you
I
stand
think so.
in the world of sports. All right, everybody. Another.
Hey.
Yes,
shut
no,
up.
we did have CED Connects
CED
agrees,
Connects.
and actually Chris Woodmansee, he agrees with you. He said you're out of bounds, but he actually agrees with you. Let's put it up there. Yes, you're out of bounds. They should only pop champagne if they make it to the finals. That actually means you're
Make it to the
inbounds.
finals.
That means
Make
you're
it to the
inbound.
finals. Win the finals.
See,
Oh,
Win.
make it to the final.
Yeah, no. We got to win. Listen,
You're
listen,
right. You caught
there
that
should only be
detail.
one. There should only be one celebration, and that's when there's no more games.
So we know that if you owned a team,
If I own
there
the
would
team,
be no champagne in those locker rooms
absolutely not.
until they won
Absolutely
everything.
not.
yeah,
And-
right. Okay,
And
Because you get
and-
nothing.
okay.
And I will fine anybody who did that.
Did you smile?
Bro,
Why are you
I would tell
smiling?
right now? You have lost your number one player. He is asking for a trade tomorrow.
No, I'm going.
I
No.
promise you, you're not going to let a kid that grew up watching the sport get on your team and seeing he's seen all these players, all these Hall of Fame greats get to do something he is not allowed because because the owner is a basketball fan and he just owns a baseball team.
He is
Because that's essentially what it is.
No, but he's allowed. He is allowed when we win the World Series.
No.
When we win the World Series.
Trade me.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. You guys keep going. Thank you so much for joining the show. We are currently live on Instagram. If you want to continue behind the scenes,
Hey,
we are
Don't
going
do
to
that,
end
players,
this
man.
episode. The guys are going to keep
Hey.
talking.
no celebration, y'all.
Thank you, everybody. We will be here next
I
week.
can't do it.
We are the Profanity
I
Nation
don't know what
podcast.
studio we're gonna be at, but we're gonna be somewhere.
We're going to be somewhere. Thank you for joining us. As long as you guys are online,
Yeah.
we promise we'll be there some way.
Show will travel.
Hey, Suns 123, Lakers 94. That's the final.
Yep.
The Profanity Nation is now the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Be sure to join, over 5,000 strong and growing. Also, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Again, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt.
Profanity Nation.
A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.